Ahora sí, ¿qué es lo que van a hacer?
Vamos a hacer hoy, vamos a marchar y vamos a tener un vigía para la señorita Brenda que la policía de Salinas mató y también para muchas otras muertes que han pasado a las manos de la policía, no nomás en Salinas, pero el estado y toda la nación.
Perfecto. Okay. Entonces, esto dices que no nomás es para Brenda, sino para también todo.
Pues sí, también, en el 2014 aquí en Salinas la misma policía mató a 4 latinos en un año. Eso apenas pasó unos años. No los vamos a olvidar de eso, los extrañamos y lo que pasó con ellos también no estaba bien. Y lo que duele más es que nunca hay accountability, no hay accountability. La policía puede matar, tienen la luz verde para matar y como digo, there's never no accountability, ya estamos cansados, estamos hartos de que estén matando a nuestra gente, a nuestros primos africanos, americanos también y a muchos otros, a mucha gente pues que matan en total.
Perfecto. Entonces, ¿como cuántas personas va a haber?
Eso no tengo, eso no tengo la respuesta. A ver quién, whoever shows up, shows up.
¿La comunidad les ha brindado el apoyo a ustedes?
La comunidad sí lo está apoyando. Hemos tenido diferentes eventos en este mes que ha pasado. Y sí lo está apoyando. El Tuesday que pasó llegaron gente a pedir a marchar, pero tenían la fecha mal, pero sí. Esperamos que ojalá que salga la comunidad, porque sabemos que mucha de la comunidad también están cansados y no entienden cómo una jovencita de 20 años puede estar matada por la policía. ¿Por qué no la ayudaron? ¿Verdad? ¿Dónde está la mental health? ¿Verdad? ¿Y dónde está la justicia más importante? Esto es algo de justicia, esta es la tema, ¿verdad? Queremos justicia y ya es tiempo que esto para.
Perfecto. Ahora, ¿cuál es el mensaje hacia las personas que están a cargo de la ciudad, los líderes del gobierno? ¿Cuál es el mensaje?
Por muchos años ya, muchos de nuestros taxas que nosotros pagamos, la budget de la ciudad, del condado, esa budget es de nosotros. Y nosotros pagamos las taxas y queremos que los valores de nuestra comunidad se miran en estos budgets, ¿verdad? Entonces ya es tiempo que le paren de dar tanto dinero a la policía y según al public safety que no está sirviendo, sus tácticas no están sirviendo. En vez de investir en mental health services, intervention, prevention, quieren comprar tanques y shot spotters que no está ayudando a la comunidad, ¿verdad? Y como dije, queremos ver nuestros valores de la comunidad en nuestros budgets, ¿verdad? Queremos que fondos, en vez de que le sigan dando a la policía, que los den para ayudar a los jóvenes, para que les den para traer los servicios que necesitamos.
Entonces, ahora sí, algo más que le gustaría añadir sobre esta vigilia, de todo lo que se está haciendo?
Pues otra vez, ojalá que la comunidad salga y que los unimos, ¿verdad? Tenemos que estar unidos porque es así como vamos a hacer los cambios, ¿verdad? También sabemos que hay 2 biles en Sacramento que están muy importantes ahorita y es tiempo que la policía cambie, ¿verdad? Hay un bill que, unfortunately, nuestra Senate member Caballero está empujando para proteger a la policía, que está pidiendo más training, pero sabemos que ya tienen mucho training, ¿verdad? Training no va a parar a muertes. Necesitamos que cambiar las policías, ¿verdad?
Perfecto. Ahora sí, más por último, just to make sure I have it all, ¿qué es lo que se va a hacer allá? Cuando van a marchar ahorita y cuando lleguen allá?
Vamos a hacer un vigilia y un círculo donde tenemos danzantes aztecas que nos van a bendecir con danza, con canciones indígenas que son nuestros rezos, ¿verdad? Our prayers are in our songs. So vamos a estar allí pasando la palabra que cualquier que se quiera expresar, ¿verdad? Pero nomás estamos pidiendo que mantengan disciplina y porque va a haber, tengo mi hijo, ¿verdad? Y va a haber también otros jóvenes. Sabemos que todos estamos enojados, estamos cansados, pero hay que mantener professionalism y dignidad y nuestro honor, ¿verdad?
Perfecto.
Muchas gracias, sí, brother.
Yes, sir.
So, I guess the first question would be,
We are organizing a march and a vigil to City Hall to honor Brenda, to raise awareness and attention to this issue of the police continue to kill our people. Unfortunately, police officers have the green light to kill people and get away with it, and we're sick of it. We are demanding justice and accountability. And unfortunately, at the current state, we're not going to get it. They're going to say that it was justifiable. They're going to say that they felt threatened, and they're going to get away again. So that's why it's very, very important that we raise this issue, that we bring attention, that we organize, and that we mobilize to ultimately correct this via legislative policy in Sacramento, because that's where the change is going to be. Specifically, there's a great bill right now that Dr. Weber is championing, and we really want to appreciate Dr. Weber, Assemblymember Weber, and other great champions up there for finally stepping up for our communities of color, for finally saying enough is enough, and for actually trying to change policy rather than request more funding for training, which unfortunately our own Senate member Caballero is attempting to do. So again, we're going to march, we're going to have a vigil to honor Brenda and to honor the 4 Latinos that were killed in 2014. The 16 that was killed, I believe, was 15 or 2015, 2016. And the many other murders at the hands of police officers throughout California and across the nation.
So, I guess when you get to City Hall, what do you hope the City Council will take away from your march? What message do you want them to hear?
I want them to see that the community is tired of this, that the community is united, right? And ultimately that they work for us. We're their constituents. We vote them in or we vote them out, and we're getting pretty tired of our values, our community values, not being seen within their budgets, right? We're tired of 65% of our budgets going to the so-called public safety, which is not working. They tell me insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. That's exactly what they're doing. They want to continue to pump fear, like we need to continue to invest in law enforcement when now we don't. They get more than enough. And what they're doing with the money, I mean, the shot spotter is not helping our community. The 2 big tanks that they have is not helping our community. We need investments to help our youth. We need investments for intervention, prevention. But instead, what do we see? We see them building a brand new police department. We see them building a brand new juvenile hall, and we see them building a brand new jail. So to me, it speaks clearly of the direction they would like to continue to go in, and we ain't having it. So unfortunately, I don't anticipate justice on this last murder that the police officers did, but we will be seeing justice at the ballot.
You talk about prevention. I think you also mentioned more money for mental health. I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about that and how that relates to the case.
Well, it relates to the case. I met Brenda's mom. Brenda's mom came to our office the morning that she went to go identify the body. Immediately, she came to our office because she seen me on the news the night before. She expressed numerous things, and young Brenda did have a history of mental health, drug use, so it is very relevant to the conversation, because rather than mental health experts showing up to de-escalate, to deal with it, the cops assassinated her. I think one thing you should really print, and I hope you guys ain't scared to print it, man. We gotta speak truth. Oftentimes you guys ask for these interviews, but you guys don't use much of the content. You guys use a little piece here, a little piece there.
What message do you hope the police officers hear from you?
Well, the police officers are supposed to be working for us as well. Honestly, I think it's time we look for a new chief. I don't think she's the one. I say that because they had the nerve and audacity to feel that they deserve some kind of community policing award. And we're going to have a ceremony of 2 blocks away from where they assassinated a 20-year-old young lady. We see right through it, man. This community, this concept and this narrative they keep continuing to share about community policing. We don't see it, we don't feel it. It's false, and we see right through it. Who do we call when those that are supposed to serve and protect you are the ones killing us? Who polices the police? hopefully one day, you know, we'll get to where we need to be with our law enforcement here locally. But it's a lot of work that needs to be done on their end. A lot of work. I mean, you know that last year there was a grand jury report that came out around our sheriffs, you know, budget issues, overtime issues, so on and so forth. Yeah, I mean, who and what do they stand for, man? Who are they protecting but their own interests and maintaining power, their power? And you know what? Nah, this is our community. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. 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 Se siente, el pueblo está presente. Se ve, se siente, el pueblo está presente. Se ve, se escucha, estamos en la lucha. 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 Sí se puede, 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 Be careful, stay in the lane, stay in the sidewalk, please. Go. Israel, go.
We got green.
What about that one? Únete, únete, a la marcha, únete, 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 a la marcha, únete,
El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Buenas tardes a todos. Otra vez, muchísimas gracias a todos. I want to acknowledge each and all of you for showing up today. It's important that our community unites. It's important that our community shows up. We're currently dealing once again with it's a rough time right now. When the Salinas Police Department can kill a 20-year-old young lady and then go immediately back in here to get some mental health services. But mental health services didn't show up to help Brenda. Something's wrong with that picture, right? So again, thank you everybody for being here. As we talked over there, we have Maestro Robert Castro right here with some of his danzantes. Muchas gracias, acknowledging and thanking them. We're gonna start off by something that we call honoring the four directions. Comes from our indigenous background. And I believe the maestro and his crew are going to bless us with the danza. Following that, there will be an opportunity for folks to express themselves, meaning we're going to pass the palabra around. Whoever would like to express themselves, offer up a song. I know some of our folks around here know some nice indigenous songs, which are our prayers, right? I think that's exactly what we need right now. I ask again to try your best to maintain your dignity and your composure, because we do have children. So let's try to watch our vocabulary. And again, the point is not to come over here and make noise. This is to honor Brenda. This is to honor the 4 Latinos who were killed in 2014, the 16-year-old who was killed a year or two later, Stefan Clark in Sacramento, and the list goes on and on and on. In 2017, law enforcement killed 172 people in California alone. 172 people in California in 1 year, majority of which are people of color. So again, with little to no accountability. So this is about honoring the lost lives and all their families, man. That's hundreds and hundreds of families, not just here but across the nation. So it's about honoring their families. It's about our community circling up, just like we're doing, to support each other, to support the family. I also want to thank and acknowledge everybody who has donated, contributed, participated in any form or fashion. Anticipate some more noise. There'll be future actions you will be made aware of. And thank you again very, very much. So again, we're going to start Maestro Robert. We're going to honor the 4 directions, followed by a danza.
Ashkan Chipalosi Chihuatlapa Chineque y ella Siwa Cotemoxinco en Tlautlautli que Cascalipoca Mixcoa Totla Paloli Ome. Se caen, se Tlapa tiene que ir. Y tus agüitas que le porque yen cal 5 is la posti. Tot la palolis naui.
We've been at this same thing with the cops here in town. And in 1974, we didn't have district elections. We thought about the time that we had district elections, that would change, and it never did. Huh? To get brown people to be on the city council, and they never did that. They never looked at that. So look around the circle. Look around the circle. Do you see any of our leaders here? Our brown leaders? Look around the room. You guys are the leaders. Oh, sorry. You guys are the leaders. You're going to have to take this because obviously some people are too busy to be here. Huh? Next couple elections coming up. We're going to need to see one of you there. Sitting at that table making a decision. Yeah. There's not the person that has been killed by the police either. I'm sorry. It goes back further. Okay? So, I just hope that, let's see what they say. See how they act. Watch how they behave. They should be freaking embarrassed. They should be embarrassed. They should be embarrassed for that monstrosity that they're building on Alisal Street with your tax dollars. Huh? The new jail, then they could have built a park. They could have put that money to work, could have put some kids to work. Because that stuff can be done. But these people don't see that. So, see what happens today.
We're not for permission dance and then that called to Calipoca to honor the third world people that passed away.
Oh yeah, also, my bad, I apologize. Acknowledging the Esalen Nation, the indigenous folks of these lands, our relatives whom we know and support as well, and all of our folks. Thank you.
these gatherings and these activities are very, very important for people to express themselves and not just to hold it in. It's very healthy. It's a healing for us and for our children. The children watch and see how we deal with these things and this injustice. I can go on and on too. But the reason I asked Philip to express himself because he's one of the elders here in the community. And no matter what we do, we always follow our protocol, our traditions, and to respect our elders, the ones that have been there before us. Especially he's a long-time resident here and he's been here for a long time. So we want to keep it simple. We'll support you in everything you do on a positive note. And we're not going away. I'm 61 years old. I've been doing this at least 4 years. And I'm not going away. I'm going to support you in the way that makes sense. And it's true what you said, Philip. We need to put people that look like us, that think like us in these positions and not forget who we are. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about one race. It's for everybody. Safety, health for everybody. That's what we're trying to do.
Right now we want to invite anybody out here, anybody in the circle that wants to express themselves. Sir, gentlemen.
My name is Doug. I'm a homeowner. I live here in South Salinas. I've been here for about 18 years. I'm 62 years old, so I'm right behind my brother over there. First of all, my condolences to the family of Brenda. I'm deeply sorry that this happened for her. I was at the Board of Supervisors meeting this morning, and they talked about education. Hardale College came. The president came. We're building a new jail, building a new juvenile hall system. Where's the money to educate our children and our families? It doesn't make sense. On one hand, you're building a new jail, a new juvenile hall system. Where's that money going for the education of our children, our younger people? They have a right to education. Community colleges should be free. We have 9,000 children in Monterey County, #1 in California. We're ranking #1 in California, homeless children. 9,000 people, 9,000! 4 people died in this city, 4 confirmed deaths in this city. 2 Hispanic female, Latino Hispanic female died. 1 died in Chinatown in her tent in February. Where's the outrage? We have 170,000 people in the city? Where's the outrage? I'm outraged. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Excuse my voice, I'm a little sick. Going off of what the gentleman just said earlier, we come, the familia Calpullia Cuautli in Salinas, we're located in Salinas. We came out to support our family, the Robert Castro Vizcali, and a lot of us unfortunately couldn't make it today due to working, and half of us work in the school district. I worked at North Monterey County, and it frustrates me knowing that they're gonna make a new jail, but they can't promise kids new equipment. Last year, a child face first broke his nose because our equipment was so bad. Nothing happened. We had the most funding of the school ever in years. Not one book was replaced. Not one classroom was replaced. There's mold and rat poop in our kids' classes. If you're a parent that has kids at the elementary school, please check in. Do not let them lie to you. They lie on test scores just to get your kid out. They want to say your kid's a bad kid just because they don't want to give that extra help and support. Me, I dedicate my life to helping young people, to helping kids. I'm only 22, and I will do everything in my power. I will stand and take a bullet for any child because I see all children as our seeds. They are our future. Everything, and like my Profe Philip said, we're already leaving. Our new generation is coming up, and half of our generation is addicted to Xanax, addicted to other things. They don't do marijuana anymore. They think that's little kid stuff. They laugh at you if you're trying to slang a marijuana, and that's horrible. Our kids are dying of overdoses. There's more kids in mental hospitals kicking off of opiates than there's kids in schools. So we as parents, we as brothers, we as sisters, daughters, sons, to these youngins, we need to be there for them. We can't just label them, oh, es un pandillero y ya. No, we need to guide them. What do you need? What's going on at home? Are you eating? Are you sleeping? Are your parents fighting? What's happening? Because at the end of the day, they are our seeds. And if we're gonna make them into weeds, then that's our fault. Then we can't complain when something like this happens if we don't come out to support our seeds.
The mic is open for anybody who wants to express themselves. Muchas gracias, señorita. Again, we're here today to honor Brenda and many other lives lost at the hands of the police and law enforcement. The young gentleman over there brought up a great point. You know, it's pretty sad. It don't feel too good, man, when our leaders have the money to invest in a brand new police department. It looks like it's going to be a monster. A brand new juvenile hall. A brand new county jail. What direction are we going in, leaders? This is a challenge. We have money to continue to incarcerate our people, but there's no money to help. I think that's BS. This city budget is our budget. We pay taxes. Elected officials, we elect them. We vote for them in or we vote for them out. Our community is sick and tired of being sick and tired. Not one more murder. Not one more murder at the hands of the police. Can we invest in intervention, in prevention, in mental health services? I often hear this talk about economic development. We need jobs. Give these kids jobs, give these youth jobs, and you will stop some bullets. Again, it's pretty sad knowing that we're going to build a new jail, new juvenile hall, and a new police department. Can we get one? That's 3 for them, 0 for our community. It speaks loudly of our leadership's values. It does not reflect our community values. Our budgets need to reflect our community values. We need to stop over-investing in this so-called public safety because we're wasting millions and millions of dollars. We need to invest in our youth and we need to invest in our future. And we need our people to vote, man. Our people need to show up. Justice is going to come at the ballot box. What's up, viejo? Thank you for sharing space with us and coming out here.
I will say that in 2014, we were at this the same way. You know, and the chief at that time, he actually came. He had vergüenza. Not too much, though. This chief not one of them has apologized. Not one city official has apologized publicly. The chief, nothing. Not even a card. You know, so to all the parents, you know, we're sorry that our city can't freaking muster up to have courage and values to speak up and go against their own people. They'll be quick to come out here and point each and every one of us out, shame us, blame us, but they'll do nothing to get at each other. The racism, sheer racism. What do they want? More training. On February 15th, if you look at the Salinas Police Department website, they had officers trained in mental health illness supports. Where were they at? We should have mental health supports on demand. The thing that happens, the officers kill somebody, there's actually killer cops on the loose. No accountability, nothing. All that's gonna happen, this is what's gonna happen. Paid leave of absence, come back, and it's a strike. And then what it becomes, like a little gang. The boys in blue. We're not popular for saying all these things. We become, you know, either public enemy or public friend. But it's okay, because this is not about us. This is about the future. This is about the justice. This is about your son. You know, this is about your daughters. This is about our children. You know, and it's hard to go up there and talk to these individuals, but we have to. We have to demand this stuff. We need racial equity. We need an investment. The sheriff wants more cops. They always want more money, more training. They always will justify a way to get more money. It's it. We got to starve them.
Look around you. We are one. We are one of many. Tener voz es tener derechos. And if we think that way, or I call it the finger hand concept, hacemos uno, pero hacemos muchos. Y pues si los juntamos, we get together as one mind, one heart, one soul, de todos aquí, and with the wisdom that some of us have, that we can share that, we can overpower the animal inside there. Those are the animals. Acá hacemos la gente of the community. We understand, we see what we've been through. During my time, I was born in Soledad, actually born in Salinas, but living in Chole or Soledad. I live in Delroy, but I've seen too much of this bullshit, too much of this hypocrisy, so much of this bigotry, and so much BS that comes out with a smiling face and a slap in the back. But again, the only way we can do it is we gotta register ourselves. We gotta cover each other's back, which means, hey, if we don't register and vote, it don't mean nothing what we do out here. So, hey, we gotta get ourselves together. Como dije, finger hand, yo soy uno, pero mira, pues me puedo juntar con otros 4 más o 5 or more, we're gonna multiply. And when we multiply, they're gonna, uh-oh, look what they're doing. Then we can vote them out. Get our own gentes. We don't want no hypocrites or bigots with those smiling faces. So again, any of these could be Brenda, could be one of my children, my grandchildren, my grandchildren. I don't want that to happen, no way. That's why I still fight from the time of the Chicano Revolution. Y no me rajo. I'm not kidding you, man. And we can't. We gotta be proud of who we are. Our history. Without our history, no hacemos nada. Hacemos la mierda misma. But guess what? We are all special. Let's look at our fingers. They're all different. They all have something special about them. And we can all bring those together because guess what? There's something special to all of us and we can bring it all together. So, bastante y no me rajo y si se puede y we shall overcome. Thank you.
I didn't know Brenda, but I do know that she was suffering. I know that she'd had a baby. I know that many women in our community are suffering after they have a baby. 1 in 5 women suffer from a maternal mental health disorder. 1 in 3 women of color suffer from a maternal mental health disorder when they're pregnant or postpartum. So I know Brenda was hurting, and I know that we weren't helping. Only 15% of women get any treatment when they're suffering, so they're suffering alone. I feel sorry. I feel like the county, I feel like the city, I feel like we all should have done better for her. And there are folks that are working to do better, but we've got a long way to go. So I needed to be here today to grieve the fact that so many women suffer in silence, and that is how it turned out for Brenda. No, my name is Wendy. I work with Monterey County Supervisor Jane Parker, so I am here representing the county, and the county provides mental health services. The county is supposed to provide support for our postpartum moms, and we didn't. We failed, and I feel responsible, and I feel like the work that we've been doing to make sure that we're screening moms who come through our county clinics. It's better than it was 5 years ago, but clearly it's not enough, and we've got to do more. So, yeah, thank you.
Bienvenidos a todos. This is such a somber occasion. I know I really feel it in my heart and in my soul, being a mother and knowing that Brenda herself had just given birth to a child. And to all the women out there who have ever had children, you know what that's like, carrying a living person inside of you, the hopes, the fears that you have for that child. she was in a tough situation. She was homeless. I don't think she was barricaded in her vehicle. I think she was living in her vehicle. And those items they call barricadation were probably her own possessions in that vehicle. And she was very stressed. And those of us as mothers, we know what that's like. We know the hormonal changes that take place in our bodies. And for her, I think of a young woman just 3 weeks out from giving birth and what her body, the condition her body was still in. Think about that in recovery. Think about, us as women, we know what we go through. We know about episiotomy. We know all of those things. And she was still in that condition when they shot and they killed her. And that is horrific. It's not okay. None of this has been okay. And yet, as a community, if we don't unite, it will never, ever change. If we don't stop fighting amongst ourselves with our own differences, but instead, if we gather, just like we're gathered here today, and bring more people in, and elect people, not only because when they look like you, they understand you a lot better, but they don't always look like you and understand you. Unfortunately, last week I was here at City Council, and I heard Tony Barrera, who speak to the police and say that regardless of what had happened, that he still supported them. Who does he represent?
Exactly.
Us? Because I haven't seen it. What I see that we elect certain individuals in, and then we just have the faith that they're going to do the right thing by us. And we turn our backs and we're not in there on a regular basis, and they're not. They are not. They're a little bit too attached to the position. Well, you need to disattach them from those positions. You need a brand new council. A brand new council. A brand new council. The councilwoman who was just elected in North Salinas, who passed by, when she passed by, I don't know if anybody else saw her, but she was snickering. She was laughing as she went by. That's unacceptable. Everything that is going on in the city, the East, you were relegated as an apartheid community, which is separatism, which is a community that is ruled by elites and ruled by power, ruled by police. Yes, we have 2 jails out there, and they're building more, and they're putting a police department, and they are, yes, putting 2 homeless shelters. But I want you to think about this. All of those things combined, what does it equal? It equals red line communities, where you can't get loans, where you can't sell your home for the same price that somebody else does, where this is what it equals. We've got to stop putting up with this. We have to do something about it. And we have to share knowledge and power with each other, and not keep that to ourselves, but share it and empower others to be out there in the community who can represent us. And you got to stop taking this BS that is going on. You got to get involved. You got to vote. You got to get out there. You got to go door to door. And number one, you have got to stop fighting amongst yourselves. Muchas gracias.
Buenas tardes, everybody. My name is Aram Coronado, and I'm here as a community member. Just keep in mind that I am in self-contact with her mother, and she did let me know that she's telling me, I don't know how to feel about this. But what happened? So they destroyed my daughter's hands. They destroyed my daughter's hands. I didn't know what to tell her, because she could have been my sister. She could have been my niece. She could have been my mom. She could have been my grandma. These people that are in here, it's an embarrassment to our city. It's an embarrassment. We need to vote and get them out of there, because they don't have any feelings towards our community, to our people that are suffering. They can't even apologize. Just want you guys to keep in mind that she is a mother with 1 month old baby. Gracias.
So we take this moment right now, this moment of silence for Brenda, for Angel Reese, Osman Hernandez, Carlos Mejia, Frank Alvarado Jr., and many more that because we didn't see it, because it wasn't captured, you know, but it still happened. Let's take a moment of silence. Israel said something important about the budget, and if it reflects our values, it doesn't. What does reflect us here? I mean, we look around, we walk into this space, we may see a few brown faces, but we're not being heard, we're not being respected. 5 years ago, we came out, expressed a lot of anger. The Department of Justice came through, did a little evaluation, a little assessment, came up with how many recommendations?
170.
110 findings and 61 recommendations. Juan Gomez mentioned that we did have a chief of police that was in communication, that was in conversation, had a dialogue going. What happened? What happened? We never got it. When will we have it?
When we get rid of some elected individuals, that's when we will have it. Because we don't even have it now. What did Adele say when she was interviewed? She said, oh, she was carrying a gun, maybe more. You know, already that's character assassination of the victim. Already starts right there. Because apparently she was armed with an arsenal, according to Adele. That's your female elected individual supposed to be the change. The person who wants SROs on the campuses, that is the change. No, it's more of the same.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Brian Gonzalez. I'm here because I really need justice for Brenda because that was my friend right there, you know, from the heart. Yeah, I don't know many people know this, but yeah, there's a lot of drugs in the streets, you know? A lot of us young people get into drugs. But why is it? Because these people that say that they're our safety from our city, they don't do nothing for us. Nothing but stuff that's gonna help them out, you feel me? So we need justice for her because if not, it's gonna keep on repeating. That day that I found out she was gone, I was passing in the red light. I was stopped, you know, I looked and I didn't know it was her. If I would've known it was her, best believe I would've gotten down, tried to talk to her or something, you know? She would've probably been here, but she's not. So just keep up the good work, you know? Thank you.
Buenas tardes. My name is Edgar Ibarra. I'm with Milpa. Like hearing everybody speak, it's crazy because I'm still feeling very indifferent to a lot of the things that have been said. It's been normalized. You know, we become desensitized to these type of things. Oh, it just happened again. All right, it's just another day. But Juan Gomez talked about vergüenza. You know, when we're young, my mom's like, ten vergüenza when you go somewhere else. Compórtate. You know, if I didn't, I knew it was gonna happen. You know, that was my reality. Esta gente no se sabe comportar, no tiene vergüenza. You know, they think they're all that, but they're not. This shit stinks, right? But there's a thing, that few things that stuck with me last week. Alex Patel came through and talked about growth. That's their number one priority: city growth, economic growth. What about growth for our kids? What about growth for our communities? What growth for all of them? What does that look like to them? Does that mean just going over and cleaning up a park? Nah, we need real investment. We're talking about millions of dollars that went all the way to Washington, D.C., asking for money for school resource officers. Go all the way over there and ask for money for our communities, for school, mental health, all that. There's no more art programs. Where the art programs at? You know? Why do we have to pay for sports all the damn time? Why? You know, we got to pay for a whole bunch of stuff. Why do we have to do that? Why can't that just be offered up, knowing that our community already is suffering enough? You know, but what I really want to come over here and say is I just want to lend prayers for that baby, Victoria. You know, that in mind, that's the next generation. We're talking about doing this type of stroke, come up here and speak up. Standing in solidarity with one another. We got to keep that little baby alive. Alive. We need to make sure that it receives everything. Es un bebé lo más sagrado, dicen. Es lo más sagrado que uno puede tener. You know. You see all the little ones around here. That's beautiful. So keeping that in mind, I just like nothing but prayers for the baby, prayers for Brenda, prayers for the mom, prayers for the familia. You know. Sabrá Dios lo que estén pasando. Cómo se sienten. How do they feel? You know, with that said, you know, just keep them in mind. Keep the family, keep the mom, keep the baby, keep Brenda in mind. And don't let it just be the trending thing, a hashtag. Nah, screw the hashtags. Let's make action. Let's make some noise up in there. You know, but in a civil way, in a good way. You know, that's the palabra.
Hello everybody, I thank all who made it out today. I'm very honored to be here, to be involved. You know, I walked over here, got a kind of a messed up leg, but hey, it's the sacrifices that I'm willing to make the noise, come here, get involved. Our voices are important, and it's hard because, like, you know, how does one justify something like that? You know what I mean? Like, it's clear cut, and for them to still justify it, then it just goes to show you, you know what I mean? It's like, to me, it's the point where it's like, and just, you know, I mean, it's obvious they can't, but it's like, just be real. I mean, man, like, you guys are just being, you know what I mean, fake, basically, but it's like, it's obvious, you know what I mean, that our people continue to get abused, and we're neglected, left out here in the streets with nothing, you know, and the damage has already been done, and we're trying to heal already, you know, in these spaces, and causing more trauma, you know, that I mean, that's bullets, you know what I mean? Like, that's a human being, that's, you know, somebody that's alive, that's an actual a mother, you know, a sister, a daughter, you know what I mean? That's somebody's family, and they're gonna go, you know, they're gonna mourn for her like that. That causes damage on the family, you know what I mean? And just to know that, you know, that person that killed that other person is sitting at home, or is with his family, is united with his family, you know what I mean? I can't, I wouldn't know where, I wouldn't like even, I couldn't even think to imagine the pain and the suffering that young Brenda's mother goes through. But I mean, I remember in 2014 too, around the murders of the Latino men, and I remember seeing one video, and I seen it clear, the whole thing, and then like soon after that, it was gone, and I seen the video again, and it was edited, or it was modified, like there was something that it looked as if they took something out to make it seem to justify it, basically. And I remember I tripped out because I'm like, what the hell, man? This is not the first video that I seen. And I'm just like, oh man, you know, like, it's disrespectful, you know what I mean, to us and to our families, to the people that are here. It's disrespectful, you know, and these people, like, you know, you try to come out here, say whatever, but I mean, it's like, you know, we're there, you know, we are there, and so don't try to, you know, they like to do that, you know, put the blame on us and try to make it seem like we're the ones that are at fault, we're the ones, you know, it's your fault, you're not responsible, you know. I've been told that my whole life, you know what I mean? Always trying to flip it on me, but nah, it comes from them. It's their lack of discipline and responsibility. You know, they carry guns, you know what I'm saying? Like, how is it, you know, I'm sitting in, like, at a restaurant or something, and, you know, like, a policeman walks in, he legit got a gun, you know what I mean? He's in uniform, but it's like, regardless, you know what I'm saying? It's intimidating. It's intimidating, you know, you're trying to be somewhere, you're trying to hang out, and it's like, you know, knowing that there's somebody there, and it's like, it just, for me, speaking for myself too, I don't have really good experience, but, you know, it's just like, I'm not here to, you know, like, go on a crazy one, talk down, but it's like, you know, enough is enough, you know what I mean? It's like, enough is enough, but when is, you know, no more, like, I feel it, I feel what everybody's saying, like, when is it gonna stop, you know what I'm saying? Like, why does it have to get to this point to where people are dying for them to make a decision or change their minds, if they even are gonna do that? Shit, I doubt it, but it's very important that we do get out and we vote and we do these things that can get those people out, so we, you know, get new elected officials so that they can start making change, because I mean, if it continues to go down this route, then I mean, it's just gonna be, you know, the same thing over and over. And yeah, I mean, I just wanted to appreciate everybody. I made it out today, and I'm very honored, and I you know, appreciate every single one of you guys, and I'm glad the opportunity to be here in honor of Brenda, and just in honor of our community, and we are one, all together. We could do it. We could do it. We just gotta.
Muy buenas tardes, mi nombre es María Carmen Parra. En lo personal quería decir las gracias a Wendy por tener y pensar en las mujeres que damos a luz a nuestros hijos. Realmente en lo personal experimenté estos cambios que damos cuando llega la llegada de nuestros babies. En lo personal lo tuve con 2 de mis hijos. Cuando supe lo que pasó con Brenda y leí que tenía 1 mes de haber dado a luz, yo sabía que algo así pasaba con ella. Ya sin incluir los otros problemas que ella traía. Así que el que piensan mejor otras organizaciones, el que agencias comunitarias o el que otros recursos piensen mejor por la comunidad, en este caso por las madres, es triste, en vez de ser de los que pensamos que deberían ser. Igual me da la reflexión de esto es lo que quieren construir, la seguridad en la comunidad, lo que mucho escuché de diferentes personas. Esto es lo que nos han dicho después de nuestra abogacía de no encerros en las escuelas. Esto es lo que es la relación para ellos. Esto es construir la relación con la comunidad. Muchas veces me pregunté, porque Brenda tan solo tenía 20 años. Yo tengo mi hija de casi 30 años y para mí es una niña. Así que me pregunto eso, ¿esto es lo que ellos desean? Digo, es como un poquito contradictorio. Así que pudiera hablar bastante de esto, pero lástima que Wendy ya se me fue. Pero en lo personal quería darles las gracias por toda esa atención que dan con estas mamás que pasamos por estos cambios hormonales, donde en muchos casos se mira que incluso se quitan la vida. pero muy triste. Las condolencias para la familia de Brenda. No tuve el placer de conocerlo, pero desde el corazón le doy mis condolencias a esta familia y Dios quiera les des pronta recuperación. Muchas gracias.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Alma Loredo, yo soy una líder de Comité Padres Unidos y para mí esto que pasó en la comunidad a mí me impactó demasiado. Por casualidad estaba yo en ese lugar, pero entiendo que no es casualidad, las casualidades no existen. Estás ahí por una razón y creo que esto lo que me deja a mí es la reflexión de que tengo que buscar las maneras de que los demás papás entiendan la importancia de que estén allá abogando por sus niños. En nuestro comité nosotros abogamos mucho por no oficiales en las escuelas. Somos muy juzgadas. Cada vez que nos presentamos en algún lugar somos el grupito. Y es difícil, algunas veces te pesa, pero a mí mi comunidad es la que me da fuerza. Ver a otros padres es lo que me da fuerza para seguir la lucha. No creo, definitivamente no creo que después de esto tengan alguien la desvergüenza de presentarse a pedir oficiales en las escuelas. Creo que aquí se terminó esa discusión. Lo espero de verdad. Espero que tengan la vergüenza de no pararse nadie a preguntar por oficiales, porque es claro, está demostrado, aquí lo demostraron, ellos no tienen buenas intenciones con nuestros niños. Era una jovencita de 20 años, Brenda merecía ayuda, necesitaba ayuda, la estaba buscando. Las personas que llegaron a ayudarla solo esperaron 2 horas. 2 horas fue suficiente para ellos, 2 horas para poder terminar la negociación de una persona que necesitaba ayuda desde hacía mucho tiempo, muchos años, tal vez desde que ella era niña. No tenía el servicio en su escuela, no había servicios de salud mental para ella. Su madre tal vez no supo en dónde buscarlos, cómo tengo el acceso a eso, cómo lo hago. Entonces, creo que esto a mí me da más fuerza para seguir organizando padres y haciéndoles entender que no es suficiente con estar solamente yendo cada vez a ver al maestro. Necesitas más para poder abogar por tus hijos y estar tú preparada para la lucha. Gracias por el espacio y es un honor estar aquí.
Good afternoon. My name is Melinda Rocha Tavera. I'm a teacher, I'm a mother, and I'm a grandmother. I want to honor all the women that are here today. My grandmother was a strong Apache woman. She was a fighter. My great-grandmother was more Apache than my grandmother was. My great-grandfather was a Mescalero Apache. I come from indigenous land. I'm from Salinas. I'm born in the Salinas Valley. And I'm honored to be part of the community that cares and takes care of each other. So for those of you who put this together, I want to thank you for the space that we have gathered here today to honor Brenda. I have a daughter and I have a granddaughter. As a mother, we're taught to teach and play with our children and never think about, imagine the community is supposed to be protecting our children and our grandchildren. As a mother, we're taught to play with each other. We're taught to teach our kids their all of the do's and don'ts. Never do imagine that we would be telling our daughter or granddaughter that your mother was murdered by a police officer in Salinas. It's not a conversation you want to have with your daughter, nor do you want to have with your granddaughter. I want to thank everybody for being here. I didn't know Brenda, but she could have been my daughter. A lot of women, a lot of our young women, a lot of nieces, a lot of us have mental health issues. We can't deny the fact that it exists. It's everywhere. It's in our community. Some of us drink, some of us smoke, some of us use drugs to hide all of these illnesses. And in reality, we have to put it in the forefront. And the reality is that it's there. We have illnesses that come from generations of pain, of poverty, of racism, of discrimination and violence, of trauma that have been brought down by generations. So let's begin the healing today. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is David Castillo Mendoza. I'm a student here at Hartnell and actually an ordained minister. And today I wanted to offer up a prayer for Brenda, a prayer for us, and a prayer for City Council. And so if we don't mind getting in a circle and holding hands with the person next to you or linking arms, whatever you feel comfortable with, or maybe if that just means standing next to someone for you in solidarity. Whatever your faith belief is, or whatever deity it is that you pray to, I just ask that you focus in on that right now. Creator of the universe, you say where two or more are gathered in your name, that your spirit is there, and I just thank you that your spirit is here with us right now. God, I ask you that your spirit move through each and every one of us, that you fill us with the peace that only you can give us. We pray for Brenda right now and her child. We pray for her family, that you begin to just bring your peace into their home. God, we lift up the councils and the boards of Salinas right now, and God, we ask that you begin to change their hearts, that you begin to show them the Salinas that you see, that they begin to see your children the way that you see them. God, we ask that you begin to open up the hearts of new leaders in this town. God, that they see the calling that you have for them on their life, that they can represent a Salinas that looks like them, that talks like them, and that believes the way that they believe. We ask that you begin to lift up those leaders and present them to us. We thank you because you're restoring this land. We are your children. We belong to this place, and we will not be taken out of here. We thank you. In your name we pray. Amen.
Good afternoon, Cesar Lara. You asked yourself, what now? We marched here, we talked here. We know who the targets are, but who puts them in office? So as we talk about this, we gotta contemplate what are the next steps. How do we move to action? Because policing isn't a police issue, it's a community issue, and it isn't just about police officers. It's about where money is invested, how is money invested. 7.5% of the budget goes to library, parks, recreational programs, and then about 50% goes to police. With fire, it's 65%. So the question is, how are we going to change that? Because it isn't just about this issue in this city council. It's also our school boards. Is there enough money to go around, like young lady said, about the high school district, or the Alice House School District, or the Salinas City School District? Or we're also talking about the county with the Board of Supervisors. So it's a question about where are the values in our budget? Because values are important to our community, and for so many things, it's about where the money is put. Am I right? Because we don't need more police, we need more open space. We need more counselors, we need more social workers. We need what happened to Brenda, needing mental health services, needing substance abuse counseling, needing other services. So many things did not happen, and we know what happened at the end. So this should be a call to action of all of us around the circle and everybody that is working in the fields in the Salinas Valley, making the hotels, washing the dishes, and holding up the economy of this government that puts the money in for them to do what they do. So, are we ready to move? Are we ready to have action? Sí or no? So, the time is now. I think that we should collect everybody's name. I think we have most of them. And if you don't, talk to Israel and Juan. Because the fire is here. Yes. The problems are here now. But they weren't started here. So we got to move to action. Just like Si se puede, right? Because if you complain about it, you got to do something about it. And we got work to do. Oh.
So there's a list going around. Is there a list going around? If not, I have a piece of paper right here and a pen. Anybody want to go ahead and pass this around to those who want to stay connected, because this is a call to action. This is a call to action where 5 years ago it was a little confusing, very confusing time. And 5 years later, they're saying after all of these efforts to build better relationships with the community, that they want the community's trust, but they don't trust the community. We see what happened on March 1st, and we know the root causes of all of this. We understand that we're working more than 1 or 2 or 3 jobs, and it's still not enough to pay for these rents. We know that our schools don't have enough counselors, don't have enough of that health support that get our youth through the day. We know that the way things are right now, our kids or the kids who are going to graduate are probably not going to be able to afford a home here. So what are we doing? What can we do? The answers are there. There are opportunities. We do have to stay together. We have to remain strong. Strong in the faith that con el pueblo sí se puede. Where's that sign-in sheet? Who's got it? Pass it around. Again, I want to thank each and all of you. Call to action. I want to briefly talk about a couple important legislative bills that are in the process right now. One of them is championed by our Assembly member, Dr. Weber from San Diego, I believe, and a few other real champions up there in Sacramento. And that is AB 392. And what that's going to do when we make this pass, because it's going to pass, it's going to mandate that deadly force, the use of deadly force is the last option in such incidents. It's going to mandate that de-escalation tactics are utilized when feasible. But most importantly, it's going to bring accountability to police officers who kill people, and it was not the last option. So the opportunity for a police officer to go to trial just like everybody else who gets accused of killing people. So accountability, which we've never had. So I want to thank Dr. Weber and the other champions up there for finally standing up for our communities of color, because unfortunately, in most cases, the majority of these cases is always people of color who are assassinated by this police. It doesn't happen to too many white folks. And not that we're racist or white folks are bad. Nah, we know a lot of cool white folks, and there's even some strong allies here, right? But there's definitely some racism. This is institutional racism. This is not new. This is the new lynchings. This is how they're hanging us now. They're shooting us. I want to talk about another bill. It's pretty sad, man, but those who know me, they know that I ain't shy, man. I'm not shy. I'm not scared. Like the young señorita said, I'm not scared of bullets. I'm not scared of cops, cells. I'm not really scared. And I'm going to call out my truth. I always speak my truth, so I'm going to call out our Senator Caballero. Our own senator who some of us voted for. Muy a huevo. We voted for her. For me, at least, in my family, and my friends, in my circles. Muy a huevo. Right? It was that or a white Republican, right? So she's currently championing a bill which law enforcement wrote, which their lobbyists and their unions wrote, and their solution to this problem of police officers assassinating people is more training. More training. Last year during negotiations, because Mrs. Weber's bill had a different number last year, and it didn't survive. It got vetoed. But during the negotiation, which is usually what happens up there, the law enforcement actually got $25 million for training just last year. It didn't stop crap. You know, Brenda's dead. So it's not about training. We heard about a press release that they try to hide way over there in the south side. Pretty little park they got over there. And we caught wind about it, and we went over there. I went to the office. I'm not even sure if I was going to work that day. I was coming in late or something. I got there. It's like, hey, this is going down. I started grabbing signs and flags, and hey, I'm going to go. Whoever's free. If you're free, you want to roll, let's roll. We went. I said, we're not going to go be belligerent. We're not going to be disrespectful, interrupt. We're just going to go stand with our signs right behind them. Unfortunately, most of the media outlets kind of cropped us out of all the pictures and videos and stuff, right? But shout out to Univision because they definitely, they're not shy. We appreciate Univision a lot. So back to Caballero's bill. SB 230. Again, it's just about training and more money. Gosh, must be nice. On demand when it comes to law enforcement. This bill is a watered down version of AB 392. Mrs. Caballero, I hope somebody shows you this or puts it on the paper or something, but shame on you. Who do you represent? You'd rather protect law enforcement than our community? Your constituents, people who vote for you? Oh, sin vergüenza. So that's that. There's an opportunity if anybody's interested on April 9th to go up to Sacramento when both of these bills are going to be heard. April 9th. If folks are interested and want to go up there, we have the opportunity to take a bus, and it's not coming out of our pockets. So if you're interested, please connect before we leave. We will reach out via everybody's contacts. Some people signed up there, some people signed up right here. So we'll follow up, we'll reach out. Before I excuse myself, again, I want to thank each and all of you, everybody, youngest to the oldest. We appreciate you. I also want to say, man, that you guys see us, you might see me a lot, or you see this meat pie. We're always, when it comes to like the juicy stuff, you know, we're out there, you know, and that's cool. We'll take it. I'm not tripping. Like I said, I'm not scared. But this is not meat. This is not just a milpa issue. These are not just milpa conversations or community actions and victories, right? We're talking about stopping them from putting cops in our schools at 3 districts out of 4. That wasn't just milpa. It wasn't just BHC, so on and so forth. This is our community coming together. This is different organizations coming together to do what we have to do to fight for our people. I want to put that out there because, again, they like to kind of just, a lot of times they're pointing the fingers at us, you know, the convicts, this, that, Valency, and this and that, right? But anyways, again, thank you, everybody. I'm going to pass, I don't know if you want to use the mic or not, but my colleague here, we're going to wrap up because we're going to stick to the agenda. We want to appreciate everybody's time and be mindful of it. Again, I thank everybody, those of you who took the courage to come up here and talk. It's not easy to talk in front of people. It takes a lot. It's something I don't get used to it, but I just do it. But my colleague and my bro right here, Juanillo, is gonna sing us a song before we're gonna march back, right? Because I know folks' cars are probably parked over there and stuff like that. So he's gonna sing us a song, and we're gonna end like that. Again, muchas gracias to everybody, back to 12 for the communications or whatever we call this type of stuff. I'm not too technical on this, but thank you again, everybody. Oh my God, look at that hawk. Oh, a hole. He was right there posted with us. Hawks? Hawks are sacred to us. Eagles are sacred. I brought a chopper with me. I brought an eagle feather for protection from these people, man. I'm scared, but I'm not dumb, right? I'm not scared, but I ain't dumb either. Eh? So I got my chopper. Those are sacred things to us. We had a hawk was just left right here, so that's tell me we're doing something right. A couple little things. When Aram talked about what the mom shared with us about they destroyed Brenda's hands. You know what that means? That means she was like this. So I don't know anybody who could hold a gun with no fingers. They messed their hands up. They got to make some. I'm not sure what they're gonna do, but there's another thing I want to say, because I met the mom. The mom came to our office right after identifying Brenda. You know, so if our office is a place where victims of police homicides, if they're coming to our office, we must be doing something right. And we took care of her. We held space for her, man. We cried with her for about an hour, you know. I never met Brenda either, but it's personal to me, man. Especially since we met the mom, you know. And her friends are here too. We see you guys too. We appreciate you. And I don't feel that the county failed her. I don't feel she should still be alive, man. The cops are out of line. They shouldn't be killing our people. So it's not that community didn't fail her. Our systems are failing her. Our elected officials are failing her by over-investing again in this so-called public safety rather than intervention, prevention services. But man, I'm gonna stop because I can go on too. Juanillo's gonna bless us with the song. Thank you again, everybody. We appreciate each and all of you.
And I want to say, first off, because a lot of people were saying a lot of different things, and they're actually like prayers. Especially in the beginning, when the point in those 4 directions is like we're asking those ancestors to come. And you know, even that hawk's a red shoulder hawk, and they say that hawk represents the phoenix rising. And when there's a fire, that's the first bird that comes and picks and sees for life. What kind of hope is there? So I'm gonna sing a song, and it's talking about the Creator to have pity on us and to listen to our prayers. And this was given to me by my uncle Isaac Cardenas, and it goes all the way back to Texas and Old Mexico by a man named Juan Parker. And he was doing the same thing as an indigenous Comanche man, Nende, and he was fighting for his people just to have the little things that we could have: earth, wind, fire, water, medicine, you know. So I wanted to share it in the best way, you know, and offend everybody. I'm sorry, but ahí va. So you kind of just close your eyes, you know, breathe, have a good feeling, and think about the mothers, the babies, you know, our families, our abuelos, our abuelas, you know, and even the city, you know, all these officials, they have to make decisions. Ahí va. Wakantini yo hiyana, wakantini yo hiyana, hiyana, wakantini yo hayana, deseyana, anaweyo, ana, wakantini yo hiyana, wakantini yo hiyana, hiyana, wakantini yo hayana, deseyana, anaweyo, wakantini yo wahine yo way, wakantini yo hiyana, wakantini yo hiyana, hiyana, wakantini yo hayana, deseyana, anaweyo, ana, wakantini yo wahine yo way, wakantini yo hiyana, wakantini yo hiyana, hiyana, wakantini yo hayana, deseyana, anaweyo, ana, wakantini yo wahine yo way.
I don't know about y'all, but it felt kind of good with that big old embrace, that big hug. Felt kind of good. I think that's exactly what we need. We need support. We need love. We need love for our people, love for our community. So we could probably end one more time with that big group hug. I would appreciate it. It felt good. Monday? Yeah, I'm gonna let you hear it. One more embrace, and we'll go back. Those of us, some of us, I'm gonna probably stay because I'm still gonna put in the comments, but those that have to go, we want to respect everybody's time and I'm gonna already get the card over there. So we can embrace one more time.
So, Asada Shakur, freedom fighter, a revolutionary, and she left us with some instructions, right? A lot of us that have been in the movement around our duty to fight, our duty to win, but that we must love each other and support each other. We have nothing to lose but our chains. So in a lot of the spaces that we go, that's how we roll at the very end of the day. We didn't been in prisons talking about this type of stuff, you know? So that's how we get down, huh? So I'm gonna say it, just kind of repeat after me. It is our duty to fight. It is our duty to fight. It is our duty to win. It is our duty to win. We must love each other. We must love each other. Support each other. Support each other. We have nothing to lose. We have nothing to lose. But our change. But our change. It is our duty to fight. It is our duty to fight. It is our duty to win. It is our duty to win. We have to love each other. We have to love each other. Support each other. And support each other. We have nothing to lose. We have nothing to lose. But our change. But our change. It is our duty to fight. It is our duty to fight. It is our duty to win. It is our duty to win. We must love each other. We must love each other. Support each other. And support each other. We have nothing to lose. We have nothing to lose. But our change. But our change. It is our duty to fight. It is our duty to fight. It is our duty to win. It is our duty to win. We must love each other. We must love each other. And support each other. And support each other. We have nothing to lose. We have nothing to lose. But our change. But our change.
Good afternoon, Mayor, City Councilman, City Councilwoman. My concern is what happened to this young woman about maybe 2 weeks ago, maybe less than that, where the police went out, the crisis people intervention went out for 2 hours. And my question to all of you and the police chief and the people that run this city, my hometown, is how did it end that way where there's a loss of life? I'm not against police officers. I understand they have a difficult job every day, but at the same time, the goal should be to where you apprehend someone without shooting so many times. And maybe, like when I ran for something many years ago, maybe we need a new police chief or city manager. But my question again is, when you call the crisis intervention team out there and they're talking to that person in that car, how did it end up the way it did with a loss of life when they were out there for so long? What happened between the time they were out there and then when they opened fire on her? And again, I'm not against police officers. They're necessary. But at the same time, I just don't understand why it happened. Thank you.
Good evening, afternoon. My name is Israel Villa. I am the Program Policy Coordinator with MILPA. I am also a voting constituent, but most importantly, I'm a father raising children of color in our beautiful community. With no plans of leaving, thus you will not get rid of me. On March 1st, the Salinas Police Department assassinated young Brenda Rodriguez Mendoza. Assassinated. I am here today to demand justice and accountability for Brenda. However, I'm in tune with reality. I do not anticipate justice nor any accountability. This is not the first police homicide in our community. Unfortunately, there have been quite a few. The police have the green light to kill, and until we change policy, this will continue. On March 6th, Brenda's mother, Maria Hernandez Mendoza, walked into our MILPA office after identifying young Brenda's body. So my colleagues and I held that very emotional space and cried with her for a couple hours. She shared that she was talking to her daughter during the incident and was told by police to stop calling her daughter. The police told Miraya that they had it under control and that they would take care of her daughter. Rather than taking care of her, they assassinated her. They took care of her all right. This is not the kind of taking care of that our community wants or needs. In fact, this kind of taking care of is exactly what we do not need. This is a kind of taking care of that continues the divide and the lack of trust with the Salinas Police Department, a department who apparently believes itself worthy of a community policing award. What a joke and blatant disrespect to young Brenda and our community as a whole. Again, I do not anticipate justice or accountability. However, you will see accountability at the ballot box. Mr. Villegas, you're not, I don't feel you're worthy of that seat, and I believe you're going to be the first one to be voted out. And I'm waiting to be run over because we stopped the SROs. We don't need SROs in our schools. These are the officers we want to put in our kids' schools. What happens when a child in high school has a breakdown with mental issues, has a BB gun, or is black and has a phone? Are they going to barricade and kill him? Thank you, sir.
Well, good afternoon, buenas tardes, board. My name is Juan Gomez. I'm the director and co-founder at Milpa. And I will say that I'm here to discuss the police officer involved murder of Brenda. I got to see the footage, like probably some of you on Facebook, Instagram, whatever your way of getting it. And you see about half the police force over there, a waste of resources for your little girl. At the end of the day, she got whacked. These officers will be on paid leave of absence, come back, right, and have stripes. You have a bunch of cops out there, now it's a whole posse of them who've done this to our communities. No accountability, no justice. What we're looking is for your leadership. We've had events, you guys don't come. Steve is the only one that comes, and Steve's over there on the south side. He's willing to talk a little bit of truth to each other. I appreciate that, we appreciate that. Some of you have approached the wrong conversation. That conversation needs to be, what can we do? What if the police chief maybe sends a greeting card, apologizes, rather than try to justify these type of things? Where's that vergüenza, right? Where's that vergüenza? Can the city put in a college fund for the baby, right? Can the city slash 1%, give it to a gym creation in memory of all the victims? No, we just need a little bit of justice, a little bit of justice. That's all we're asking for. Each and every of you. All your decisions go all the way up to Trump. We all saw the Supreme Court decision. So all of us here, and myself included, we're at risk for displaying and condoning white supremacy. State condone violence. I just want to say that much. Thank you. Palabra.
Thank you.
Hi, O.S. Wise, Salinas resident, president of Salinas Monterey County Homeless Union. That Brenda was also homeless, and that it really drives deep because she was living in her car and then it's called barricading just because she has her possessions in the vehicle. In the last couple of weeks, we've got a few video encounters of police interactions, and all that police brutality indicators are there. Aggression, dismissiveness, just total disregard of people. It's our way. I can't solve your problem. Well, you're the one actually in charge here. The city is in charge. And so somehow between policy to conceptual trainings to morning briefings to actual implementation out in the field, because I talked to Manny Martinez on Thursday last week, and I sent him some videos to city corporate as well, to Liz. I hope that got distributed. 3 encounters where the police were just horribly aggressive, completely rude, unethical, unprofessional, really no reason to be there other than aggressive attitude. I mean, it seemed like a fishing exercise. I went and I videoed a minute and a half. This guy comes 25 feet over to bark at me to tell me that he's feared for his safety. All I've got is my camera. What are we coming to? Is there any kind of justice for people? Or they just be summarily dismissed and disposed of? Because that is obviously the attitude that is highly pervasive and is perpetual. And we have proof of this. And so this pattern needs to stop. We need to do better. Not just trainings, It's your attitude, and probably more than likely, you guys got to go. There's unholy trinity in charge: the mayor, the manager, and the attorney, the brain, the muscle, and the mouth. Y'all make the decisions, and what kind of decisions do you make? You're killing people.
Thank you.
Margaret Sedona Benetti. I'm outraged over what just transpired on the east side with Brenda, but it's not the first time, and I'm sure it's not going to be the last unless we pass laws that change this. Lately, I've been here talking about the 2 homeless shelters that you want to put on the east side, and some people have called people on the east side NIMBY, and so all of this ties into it. Because we've got 2 jails on the east side, we've got a garbage facility on the east side, you're building a new police department on the east side, and the homeless get shot down, people get shot down, because you're creating these clustered communities of impoverished people, where it's easy to take a gun out, you want to put a substation over there. But there was a man on his roof for hours and hours, thank God he didn't get shot down, maybe they were laying low. Brenda's death is on national TV because you have made the very disgusting decision to bring in television into the city of Salinas and say, hey, go ahead and go film our Latino Mexican criminals that you have no respect, period. Tengo vergüenza con ustedes, okay? And you especially. We need to be supporting Assembly Bill AB 392 by Dr. Weber from Southern California. It calls for accountability. It's not Caballero's bill, which is lined up with the police department. It is one that calls for accountability. It's one that changes reasonable to necessary. It's one that goes from imminent danger. A person must be in imminent danger. And importantly, on all of that, you have to exhaust all remedies before you pull out a weapon. And when you do pull out a weapon, and if you decide to pull out a weapon and you do go to court for it, then under that bill, a police officer would be under the very same, like if any of us with self-defense, not under this reasonable language that never holds anybody accountable. Nothing is going to change.
Thank you. Your time is up.
Nothing is going to change until we change it at the ballot box, because you're certainly not going to change it.